So today I'm going to be installing a Skunk 2 radiator and a Spal fan on the radiator. So I have a 93 Civic and it has a stock radiator, and I've for whatever reason I've kept this for a long time and it's worked well, but I think it's starting to catch up to me, so it's time to change it. So let's get with it and change that out. So first thing I want to take off is going to be this pipe here, because it's going to be in the way of pulling this radiator out. So let's do that real quick. Just showing you guys where I loosened it. Take this out of the way. So second thing I'm going to do is take off this reservoir. Okay. Now with this reservoir, it's like clipped into this bracket here, so all you got to do is just lift, comes right out. Okay, and now I'm going to try to drain the radiator from the plug. Let me see if I can get a light for you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's a plug down there. Hopefully I can unscrew it and all the water will drain out of it. And of course it's rock solid. Got it broken loose. Beautiful. Then I'm going to open the cap just to help it flow better. And let that drain. So once that's drained some, I'm going to disconnect the radiator fan. Here's the plug for it. Just push down, pull that apart. And I'm going to start to loosen these hose clamps so I can disconnect the hoses. Try to get this guy out of the way. This clamp is like really hidden, so I'm gonna have to lay down for that one to get to the screw. I'm trying to show you guys, but it's gonna be pretty hard. Okay. Hopefully that's enough. Okay. And what holds the radiator in is this little arm here. And it's got a 10 mil. So let's get that off. 10 mil. I'm gonna plug this back up so it doesn't leak everywhere. Okay. going to be reusing this plug. I'm going to take this off and just solder these like so. So I'm in the basement. I gathered some stuff up. Whoop. Okay, and that did it. So let's go back upstairs and keep going. I'm back upstairs, and now I'm going to be installing the fan on the radiator. Give you guys a better view. So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, these just kind of go through the radiator to hold the fan on. But this setup doesn't come with these springs like my other one did, and I kind of like these because if they ever stretch or work loose, this spring will keep tension on it no matter what. So I'm going to reuse these, but I only have 3 of these. The 4th one broke, fell off somewhere, so I'm just going to use the 3 that I have. I just want to see if I'm able to use it without the cleats that go on the fan. I mean, yes, you could use it. So if you guys are wondering if you really need those cleats, I mean, you just saw what I did, and you be the judge of that. So let me go get the cleats. I'm still gonna use them because I have them. Kind of want this plug wire to be in a way where it helps itself. So something like that maybe. Put the cleats on. Okay. And I think I'm going to use some of these rubber pad or some of these foam pads to put on the other side of this zip tie. I just don't want this to rub through any fins. So I would think it goes something like this. Poke that through. And I'm going to try to compress that spring a little, maybe a tiny little more. There we go. Okay, so that's one. We got one done. So I'm going to do the rest of them and show you guys when I'm done. So I'll be right back. Okay, I got them all on. And like I said, I'm missing one of the springs, and it's this lower one where you can't really see it, so whatever. But yeah, that's the way it looks. That's the other side. Let's pop this in the car. Just gonna make sure that's nice and closed before I put it in. That's where you drain the radiator. So it's nice and closed. And let's pop this thing in. Okay. I'm gonna take this lower cap off. Top cap off. So let's put the top support back on. I think that I left that over here somewhere. Nope. Where did I stick that thing? Well, right there. So that's gonna go like so. Here's the bolt. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna plug this back in. I'm going to connect this bottom hose again. So that's the lower one. Fan is connected. Here's the top. I'm gonna have to loosen this one up too. Nice and firm. What I'm going to do is bend this down a little more because it wants to keep maybe even popping out of that little rod here wants to kind of pop out of this hole because it's a little high. I think that'll work. There we go. Now I'm going to put the reservoir back in. Don't spill on yourself like I'm doing. All right. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. But basically what I did is I flipped the wire around and I just kind of zip tied it to itself, and then one down there on the AC line. So that should be pretty good. All right, the fan's on. The radiator's in. The fan's plugged in. Put this back. There's that. And I think we're ready to fill this thing up. I don't like how that hits the radiator down there, if you guys can see it. You can see that the reservoir tank hits the radiator down there. I'm going to work on this a little more. I just kind of want it to look a little better too. So let me try to work on that. I'll be right back. I'll show you guys what I did. Okay, so got it to move over so the reservoir doesn't hit the radiator and doesn't look crooked. So I just put this over and gave it a couple yanks, and she bent over a little bit. And there you go. She looks good. And the bottom clears, so I like that. Okay, I got the funnel on. As you can see, purge funnel. And let's start it up. Let's see if the keys are in it. Yep, the keys are in it. Start this thing up. Turn the heat all the way up. And now you just got to pay attention to the temperature. Can't really walk away from the car. So I'm gonna let it idle for a little while and I'll be back. This thing is blowing some air. I love it. You can see the coolant moving down there. I mean, it's really pushing some air. Kicks on at 196. Okay. It's been idling for a while. All the bubbles stopped pretty much. And this fan is awesome. It makes my old fan seem like a toy. You just got to make sure that your fan kicks on, that any big bubbles are out of the system. And luckily I have an app where I can see the temperatures as I'm as the car is running. So everything looks good. I'm just gonna turn it off in a minute and finish up. But I wanted to show you guys how much air this fan moves. I mean, it sounds like a vacuum. Let me turn this car off, and I'm gonna let it cool down, put some fluid in the reservoir, and she should be done. So give me a minute and I'll be back. Put the reservoir, put the cap on. So I'm happy. Now I'm just gonna take it for a quick drive just to see if temperatures stay down. And again, this is just going to be a quick drive because I want to make sure that the temps stay low. And I got more stuff to do today, so I can't spend all day doing this. So right now we're at 189. Okay, I've been driving for a while now, and the highest it got was at 203, and the lowest it got is at 189, so it's doing its job. I'm just gonna pop the hood, see if anything's leaking. Okay. I don't see any water leaking, so I think we accomplished something today. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.